Will Sally Hawkins go to the prom with me? Why did that key lime pie look so much like Jell-O? Homophobia and fairy tales. Two great tastes that go great together? Seriously, will Sally Hawkins go to prom with me? All this and more in today's episode of Pulling Focus. Hello fellow cinephiles, what is up? My name's Lou, and today we're taking a dip with The Shape of Water. Co-written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, this film is a sort of modern-day fable about a mute janitor at a government facility who becomes friendly with one of the assets being housed there. If you've seen the trailer, you know the asset is a sort of merman, but it's closer to the creature from the Black Lagoon than it is to Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Sally Hawkins plays Eliza, the janitor that forms an unlikely bond with the asset, and she's a revelation. I have seen her in a few other films over the years, and I'm embarrassed to say she really didn't make a blip on my radar, but she's undeniable in this. The fact that most of her acting is through body language and facial expressions makes her killer performance all the more impressive. She was perfectly cast in this film, and she earned herself a new fan. It's also no surprise that Michael Shannon is great here. He plays a colonel running said military facility, and he chews through the dialogue. He's such a monumental prick, but I can't get enough of the dude, and I fully endorse his statements on bathroom hygiene. Octavia Spencer is wonderful as always, playing Zelda, Eliza's friend and fellow janitor. I'm not sure I've ever seen her give anything less than a great performance. She's keeping that streak alive. And I have to give a special shout out to David Hewlett as the Colonel's right-hand man. Hewlett played one of my favorite characters in Stargate Atlantis years ago, and I always love when he pops up in films. Dude does his thing and he does it well. Put it in the books, people. That's Stargate reference number 2 in a Pulling Focus episode. It won't be the last. Finally, Richard Jenkins plays Eliza's neighbor and best friend. The first time I really took notice of Jenkins was in 2008's The Visitor, and he's just as fantastic in this. He's so good, in fact, I'd be down for a sequel focusing on his character. So obviously the performances in The Shape of Water are nothing to sleep on, but what really made this film special was the world del Toro created. It's this strange combination of like a 50s aesthetic with a bunch of edgy dialogue and situations one wouldn't traditionally associate with the 50s. When a classic Golden Age housewife pops a tit out, it's a little jarring. And I think that's part of what made this film so effective for me. It sounds a little like I'm saying it's effective because a tit popped out. That's not what I'm saying. It pushes and pulls your expectations. Characters getting pie at a diner in one moment, and a scene of vigorous masturbation in another. From the story points to the dialogue to the production design, I dug the choices del Toro made on every front. If you've seen any of del Toro's films, you know how awesome his visuals are, and this is no exception. In particular, the things he does with water are striking. The phrase, every frame a painting, definitely applies. The Shape of Water is not only beautiful to look at, but I think it really challenges the viewer to take a look in the mirror. It's a fairy tale, but with a little bit of homosexuality and a little bit of racism thrown in. Mature themes wrapped in a whimsical package, and I'm not even a little bit mad at that. If quirky characters doing some pretty unseemly things doesn't sound like a good time, this ain't the one for you. But for me, it's like a sore dick. You can't beat it. Thanks for stopping by to chat about The Shape of Water. If you like what I do or are feeling generous, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. The links are staying alive. And please join me next time when I'll show you how to check your buoyancy compensator before going scuba diving.